Hey there, today I want to introduce you to the innovative new features in Pro-C2, an awesome compressor by a company out of the Netherlands called FabFilter. If you want more info on this plugin, there's a link below to a Warp Academy page, and from there you can also demo it or even buy it. So I was a big fan of this plugin in its previous version, and actually only recently started using the newer one, Pro-C2. So in this video I want to show you some of the cool new things I've discovered and how I've been applying them to my own production workflow. This includes the new vocal compression style,
Meet me in the corner over there.
the mix slider, and the Sidechain EQ section on my master bus. After this video, you'll be able to use the Pro-C2 to tame dynamics, parallel compress, and intelligently process your master bus. Let's head into it. All right, so I've for a long time been a fan of using the Pro-C on vocals, so I was really excited to see this new vocal setting added into the Pro-C2. Here is a vocal that I'm currently mixing. Let's give this a quick listen, and in particular, listen closely to its dynamics.
Meet me in the corner over there. I wanna run my hands through your hair. We'll rock through this summer city light, and the electric guitar cuts through the air like a knife.
So it's not terrible dynamically. It's not crazy, but it definitely needs some compression because some words are very upfront and loud, while some other ones are pretty distant, barely audible. And that's not what you want with a pop vocal sound that I'm going for here. So I want to even everything out with some compression. Let me flip over to the session, and this time when I play it back, watch this meter here, in particular the bright green meter.
Meet me in the corner over there.
The bright green meter represents the RMS level. RMS stands for root mean square, and it gives you an average loudness calculated over a pretty short period of time. How long that period of time is depends on the meter you're using, but regardless, generally RMS is a better indicator of perceived loudness than peak levels, which are the darker green lines on this meter. And one more final point about RMS is RMS gives you a pretty good idea of how compressed something is. So those are the reasons that I start out thinking about compressing RMS first, and then I move on to dealing with peaks later on. Okay, so all that out of the way, watch the RMS on this meter as I play it back one more time.
Meet me in the corner over there. I wanna run my hands through your hair. We'll rock through this summer city light, and the electric guitar cuts through the air like a knife.
Okay, so that RMS level is a little all over the place. It goes well above -12 and all the way down to about -24. So I'd really like to even out those RMS levels. Let me show you how quickly the Pro-C2 can do this. All right, I'm going to start by choosing vocal. And the way vocal works is interesting. When I clicked vocal, you might have noticed that the ratio and knee settings became grayed out. So those are set automatically in this mode. And according to FabFilter, all you have to do is set your threshold, and this setting should work like a charm on your vocals. So I'm going to drive this compressor pretty hard, see how it stays together.
Meet me in the corner over there. I wanna run my hands through your hair. We'll rock through this summer city light, and the electric guitar cuts through the air like a knife. Meet me in the corner over there.
So that's a pretty brutal approach. I would not usually push compressors on vocals that hard, but let me play it back again real quick. And again, watch the bright green track meter, and I'll do a before and after.
Meet me in the corner over there. I wanna run my hands through your hair.
So that was before.
Meet me in the corner over there. I wanna run my hands through your hair. We're all filtered through this summer city light, and the electric guitar cuts through the air like a knife.
It's not 100% even, but those RMS levels are overall hovering much closer than before. So that was a really quick and dirty approach to compressing vocals. This particular vocal definitely needs some more work, but overall I'm really impressed with how quickly I was able to smooth out the dynamics of these vocals. So let's try something similar on drums, this time with the new bus style. Before I get into that, I'd like to invite you guys to join the Warp Academy community by hitting subscribe and activating notifications. That way you won't miss a beat and you'll get the heads up on new videos as soon as we post them. So another way that I've been really liking the Pro-C2 is with acoustic drums. Here is a loop that I like. Let's just give it a listen real quick. So it's a good clean loop, but I'd like to use the Pro-C2 to make these drums huge. And by huge, I mean kind of like John Bonham style, where we hear a lot of the room, more of the drum sustain, fat and beefy. So let me throw the C2 on here. And first up, I'm going to choose the new bus style. I'm going to crank the ratio 100 to 1. Give it a ton of knee, 30 dB or so. Fast attack, pretty darn fast release as well. And let's hear what that sounds like. Cool. I like how that's really squashing it and making it big. Sounds very cool. Now finally, I'm going to use the new mix slider, which when you hover your mouse here comes up. It's at 100% by default. And as you can probably guess, this lets you mix between your compressed sound and your uncompressed sound. This is a process you might know as parallel compression. A great technique for putting sounds in the forefront of a mix. So what I'm going to do is dial this back to taste, getting a blend of our highly compressed sound and the original uncompressed sound. As much as I love auto gain on this compressor, when you start getting into using the mix knob, I need to add back a little bit more output over here. So I really like that balance right there. We still have that squash signal in there, but it's mixed with the original, so there's still plenty of nice poppy transients in there. Very cool feature in the new Pro-C2. Okay, finally, I want to try out the Pro-C2 on my master channel just to give it a little bit of compression before I either send it off to my mastering engineer or master it myself. So what I've done here is looped up the loudest part of the song. Let's just hear that with no compression first. Okay, now before I do anything up here with all of this stuff, I'm going to open up the sidechain section, which is new in Pro-C2. And I'm doing this because I want to compress as little of my kick and sub bass tracks as possible, because I want them to remain really punchy and clean. I want those to really just bang on whatever sound system they're playing on. So this is where sidechaining comes in really handy on a master bus compressor. The way you do this on the Pro-C is turn on this high pass filter, and I'm going to set the slope to be quite a bit steeper. And then I'm going to turn on audition, so I'm hearing only what the compressor is hearing, essentially. If I were to put it up here, it's only compressing from about 4K up. Totally compressing everything. But somewhere around here, around 175, 180 hertz, it's compressing almost all of the track except for my sub and kick. The kick and the sub bass will have room to breathe and pass through the plugin totally unaffected. So now I'll turn off audition and start dialing in some things up top. First thing we need to do is turn on the new mastering style. Cool. The Pro-C is just giving the mix a little bit of a squeeze. And most importantly, my kick and sub still have plenty of room to just do their thing and not get squashed. So those are just some of the ways that I've been using the Pro-C2 in my own production workflow. It's a very versatile compressor, so I've only just skimmed the surface here, but hopefully I've given you some ideas on how you can use it in your own music. If you're intrigued by this plugin, you can head over to the Warp Academy store for more info, to demo it, or even buy it. Just click the link below. Until next time, guys, happy producing.